What is up, guys? It is the game of basketball back again with the new video. So this wasn't supposed to be my first video. It was actually supposed to be me ranking the Eastern Conference teams 1 to 15, but I guess that'll come out another time cuz a blockbuster trade just happened. The New York Knicks are trading Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and a first round pick via Detroit to the Timberwolves for Karl Anthony Towns. Wow, this randomly happened on a Friday night in September where the season's about to start in I think less than a month. So this is just absolutely crazy. I've been thinking about this trade for the last like 30 minutes, and I'm just gonna tell you guys my thoughts and my initial thoughts and everything about the trade. So for the Knicks, I genuinely think that this was a good pickup for the Knicks. The one thing that everyone was concerned about for the Knicks is their center core. You know, Mitchell Robertson is a player who's always injured. You can't rely on Mitchell Robertson at this point to play many games, especially in the playoffs. So when you add one of the best power forwards slash centers in the Western Conference in Karl Anthony Towns to the Knicks, I think it's I think that's a very good pickup. They obviously had to give up Randall and Dante DiVincenzo. So for the Knicks, I think this is a great trade. Add a centerpiece, and I think losing Dante DiVincenzo is a big loss for the Knicks. He's a Nova twin. Just it's a big loss, especially for Knicks fans. But I think a lot of the stuff that Dante DiVincenzo does, McBride already does for the Knicks. I'm not saying McBride is as good as a player as Dante DiVincenzo because that is not true. But I think a lot of the stuff that he could do, the 3-point shooting, the whatever, the defense, I think Miles McBride could also replicate that somewhat. So that's why I think the Knicks were willing to give up Dante DiVincenzo. And Dante DiVincenzo had a great year last year, shooting like 40+% from the three. So that is huge. That is a huge loss for the Knicks, but I think McBride once again could do similar stuff. And then Randall obviously didn't play last year towards the end of the season, toward the playoffs and whatnot. So I think the reason the Knicks were okay with trading Randall is because we have seen Karl Anthony Towns play second fiddle to Anthony Edwards. Be okay with taking 12 shots, 15 shots, 10 shots a game even. And we haven't seen that from Randall. We were seeing reports that he was okay doing that, but we just don't know. We don't know how good Randall is if he isn't having the ball in his hands all the time and orchestrating the offense. So I think the Knicks get a player who we know could be a second fiddle to Jalen Brunson, and is okay with that because he was okay with Ant. So I think that's why the Knicks are okay with getting Karl Anthony Towns here. Let's talk about the Timberwolves now. For the Timberwolves, honestly, me personally, I would have ran this back one more year with Karl Anthony Towns because last year we seen this team be the first or the second seed in the NBA in the Western Conference. We seen what they did in the playoffs, making the conference finals. I don't think this was the right time to make the trade. I think they should have ran it back one more year with Karl Anthony Towns, but they didn't. That's just my opinion. But adding Dante DiVincenzo was huge for them. Like I said, the 3-point shooting 40%. But Randall, I'm not sure if I don't really like this trade for the Timberwolves currently. This is just obviously my initial thoughts. But currently, because we had never seen Randall play the second fiddle, the third fiddle, effectively in New York, and now he's going to the Timberwolves, and he has to play second fiddle Anthony Edwards, and we'll see how he does. But I think the Timberwolves did this trade. Obviously, they get Dante, which is a huge pickup for them. He's one of the best role players in the NBA. We've seen it even in the playoffs and throughout the whole last season. But I think they do this trade because they just need a guy to be out there more. Like we've seen many times in the playoffs that Karl Anthony Towns just fouls out, and I think Brando is less likely to foul out, less more likely to play more games. So I think that's why they do this trade. But I really don't like it for the Timberwolves. If I had to give it a grade, I would give it a A for the Knicks, and I'll give this honestly a C or C plus for the Timberwolves. So that's all for today. Hope you guys like this video. If you have any feedback or anything in the comments, video ideas or whatever, just make sure to comment that, like the video, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'm gonna see you guys next time. Peace.